When you're pregnant, many women feel vulnerable. So you might think that everyone is going to tell me what to think, what to do, how it's going to be. But I let you into a secret. It's all about you. You know what to do. And it's within your gift to say what you want. And you are the one who is in charge and makes the decisions.
To educate yourself, you need to think about your options around place of birth, whether you want pain relief, what your choices are in pregnancy.
Read as much as you can about what is available to you. If you've heard that you can have something, find out about it.
I would suggest that you look on NHS Choices and the Baby Body app. It gives you lots of information about where you are, what's available in your locality, your midwives, your health visitors, and it answers all the basic questions that new mothers ask.
Don't be afraid to ask questions. You can ask the same question 1,000,001 times, but you need to make sure you understand it to go through that positive birthing experience.
Whether it's your first or fifth pregnancy, it is still a time of change for your body and your mind. So the most important thing for you to do is to be bold and ask your midwife. Find out as much as you can.
Write it down, come with, a list of questions, whatever they may be. Nothing is silly. It is not like a headmaster-student situation. Okay, they are the healthcare professionals, but you are there actually as their equal.
I would say that as you get pregnant, start thinking about what you'd like your birth to look like, because you plan a journey, don't you?
So we plan for what exactly you want, and then you plan for if it goes down a different pathway.
We might know about risk factors in relation to you and your baby at the beginning of your pregnancy. Sometimes we pick it up a bit later on, towards the end of pregnancy, or we might only pick it up during labour. Sometimes your doctors will recommend extra changes and support to your care, and your plans may need to change in relation to the circumstances. So it's really important that you can be flexible with your birth plan.
I would always recommend that you make a birth plan in conjunction with your healthcare professional. You direct it so that you understand what you want. You might also find that what you thought you wanted when you're in labour isn't actually what you want. So you may find that you change your mind, and that's okay too.
Find more films, tips and advice about pregnancy, birth and parenting in the Baby Buddy app. Scan the QR code to download the free Baby Buddy app from the App Store or Google Play.
I'm learning the different cries that she makes, so I know what to do next. Feeding, for example. It's coming, it's coming. When she's angry, when she's tired. There's a new one now, when she needs a nappy changing. And someone please come and give me a cuddle. So my top 3 comforting tips. Singing. Sunshine, my only sunshine. I've got a couple of nursery rhymes, some bangers that I like to sing as well. You are my sunshine and row row your boat. Singing will stop her from crying because she's like, oh, what is that? What's that noise? Then I'll start humming, I'll bring her up here and start humming. And those vibrations from my chest to her head, I think that's a comforter as well. And that tends to send her to sleep. What also works for me is I tend to hold Larry like this and just rock her. So rocking helps comfort her as well. And the third one, just having her up on your chest and just walking around. I tend to carry her around and just walk around the house, and she'll fall asleep that way. You have to keep moving with her, otherwise she'll wake up. It does mean less PlayStation time, but yeah.
Find more films, tips and advice about pregnancy, birth and parenting in the Baby Buddy app. Scan the QR code to download the free Baby Buddy app from the App Store or Google Play.
During pregnancy and birth, you'll be offered choices and asked to make decisions. It's important you understand the options and are able to weigh up the pros and cons so you can decide which one is right for you. And if you want to consent to a medical intervention that is offered. Sometimes it can be difficult to make decisions, especially during the times that you might be feeling most vulnerable, such as when you're in labour. Here's a useful tool to help you make decisions. Use your brain. B is for benefits. What are the benefits of doing this for you and your baby? R is for risks. What are the risks of doing this for you and your baby? For example, are there any side effects? A is for alternatives. Are there other options available? I is for intuition. What is your gut feeling about the choices you're being offered? N is for nothing or not now. What might happen if you choose to do nothing or wait for a while? So when you're asked to make a decision, use your brain. If you need more information from health professionals to understand the risks, benefits and alternatives, just ask.
Find more films, tips and advice about pregnancy, birth and parenting in the Baby Buddy app. Scan the QR code to download the free Baby Buddy app from the App Store or Google Play.
Tara's baby Oscar is just a few days old and she can already recognise which sleep state he's in.
At the moment he's in a deeper sleep and you can see that his breathing's more shallow. He's not really reacting to any external noise. He's not pulling many facial expressions or making any noises himself.
Their breathing will be very regular and shallow when they're in this state, so almost to the point where it's hard to see whether they're breathing at all. This is the deepest level of sleep that your baby spends time in, and when they're in this state they will be actually quite hard to wake up because they're in a very low level of consciousness. So if they did get woken up for some reason, they would quickly go back off to sleep again. The second sleep state that babies spend time in is the light sleep state, and this looks quite different to the deep sleep state because there's a lot more activity going on in this state.
Find more films, tips and advice about pregnancy, birth and parenting in the Baby Buddy app. Scan the QR code to download the free Baby Buddy app from the App Store or Google Play.
If you're pregnant or a new mum, it's really important to make sure you're in good shape emotionally.
Coming to terms with having a new baby is incredibly stressful.
Many people don't realise that mental health problems, including depression, anxiety and post-traumatic stress, affect around 2 in 10 women in pregnancy and in the year after having a baby.
I found it really hard, really down.
If you feel low or emotional when you're pregnant or have a new baby, it can be tempting to tell yourself it's normal or put it down to other things.
The kind of heavy feeling and feeling like, oh no, this isn't right. I put it down to tiredness, hormones.
But if these feelings last more than a few days or make it difficult for you to behave or function normally, they could be a sign of something more serious. The single most important thing you can do for you and your baby is talk to your GP, midwife or health visitor and get some help. Counselling and talking therapies can help. If you need to take medication, there are options that are safe if you're pregnant or breastfeeding. And nobody is going to take your baby away if you're depressed or anxious. But it's best if problems can be prevented before they happen, and there are many ways to stay well emotionally.
The best thing you can do is look after yourself and eat a good diet as best you can, and just take walks when you can and meet up with friends and try and connect with friends and family so that you can get that support.
Find more films, tips and advice about pregnancy, birth and parenting in the Baby Buddy app. Scan the QR code to download the free Baby Buddy app from the App Store or Google Play.
Through both pregnancies with my partner, in general, I felt kind of useless and not like I could do a lot, but obviously you do what all dads can or all partners can, and you just try to make their lives as easy as possible, run them baths, be as nice as possible, make them dinner. You'd obviously still try and go out for date nights and try to do just your normal things without, you know, focusing totally on just that you're having a baby. So try and still do the normal things you would do anyway. So obviously make them still feel like a woman and a partner, not just a pregnant mama.
Find more films, tips and advice about pregnancy, birth and parenting in the Baby Buddy app. Scan the QR code to download the free Baby Buddy app from the App Store or Google Play.
It varies when you're going to feel movements for the first time. Women tend to feel them between about 16 and about 20 weeks, and these can start as feeling like butterflies in your tummy, feeling like you might have wind, and then as baby gets bigger you'll feel more the things that feel like actual movements and kicks. So from when you start feeling movements, they should then increase through your pregnancy. It's a real myth that towards the end of pregnancy your movements will slow down because baby's tired or because baby hasn't got enough room. Your movements might kind of stay the same from about 32 weeks, but they should never ever reduce. We want you to keep an eye on baby's movements when you're pregnant so that you know roughly what kind of pattern your baby's in, so that you can let us know if there's a problem. I know that there's lots of apps that you can use that you can record when your baby moves, and that's fine, but the best way is just for you to know yourself. So, oh, my baby normally moves in the morning and it hasn't, so that's unusual, so that would be something for you to phone us about and let us know. Even if you've come in every day for a week worried about your baby's movements, we still want to see you. We might encourage you to maybe lie on your side for a little while, on your left hand side, just to see if you can pick up movements, so if you've been really busy and might not have noticed them, but we're going to want to see you and we're going to want to make sure that you and your baby are okay. If you're having twins or more babies, then it can sometimes be difficult to work out which baby's moving, which baby isn't moving. So our advice would be, if you're ever worried at all, again, just to ring the hospital, just to have a chat with us, and we'd be more than happy to see you and monitor you.
Find more films, tips and advice about pregnancy, birth and parenting in the Baby Buddy app. Scan the QR code to download the free Baby Buddy app from the App Store or Google Play.
Crying is saying, I need something different to happen here, I need some help. And crying can happen, I guess, for a number of reasons during an interaction. And one of those reasons may be that the baby is being overstimulated.
You've had enough, haven't you?
Yes. The parent or the caregiver thinks they're helping the baby and entertaining the baby by, for instance, shaking a rattle or showing a number of toys to the baby. Actually, sometimes that can be a bit overwhelming for a baby and they may need a bit of space. And they would demonstrate that feeling of being overwhelmed by crying.
It's important to remember that your own mood can have a big effect on your baby.
Babies are very sensitive to the mood of the caregiver, and when a caregiver is feeling really stressed and anxious, then a baby can pick up on that, and actually that sometimes can make the baby cry even more. So it is worthwhile taking a little break and moving away from the baby to reduce your anxieties and reduce your stress, even if it's just for 1 or 2 minutes, and then coming back to it when you're feeling a little bit better.
Find more films, tips and advice about pregnancy, birth and parenting in the Baby Buddy app. Scan the QR code to download the free Baby Buddy app from the App Store or Google Play.
When you've had a baby, it's completely normal to feel a bit up and down. Your hormones are changing at this time. And there's lots of things that you can do to try and make yourself feel better, such as making sure that you're getting plenty of rest, perhaps seeing some friends, seeing some family, making sure that you're eating well. But also, if you're feeling overwhelmed or you feel that those negative feelings are there more often than they're not, it's really important that you take care of your emotional well-being and you speak to either your midwife or your doctor or your GP so that we can offer you some support. There's lots of information about your emotional well-being and mental health within the Baby Buddy app.
If you're feeling low or anxious after your baby is born and those feelings don't go away, speak to your midwife, health visitor or doctor. And there's lots more information and video to help you in the Baby Buddy app.
Find more films, tips and advice about pregnancy, birth and parenting in the Baby Buddy app. Scan the QR code to download the free Baby Buddy app from the App Store or Google Play.